everyone, how have you all been going? Today I'm going to talk to you about my visa application process and some information about how it went. So far I've only actually completed the application process, but on the end of this video I'm going to put my interview process, so stay tuned for that if there's info for that you're looking for. So to start off with, there is information that is given to you from Disney that kind of steps you through briefly how to get your visa. So before even starting, I recommend printing it off and having it in front of you, because doing the application is a very time-consuming process, so it will be a hell of a lot easier if you have it in front of you. So number one is to print that off. Go do that. And then you can start the process. So the first thing is that you have to pay a service fee. This fee is quite cheap, and it's something that you do have to do first, as you have to pay this fee before you are allowed to apply for a visa. So you pay a service fee and then you go into your visa application. It is a fairly easy application in the way of the questions are simple, but again, it's very time consuming. So make sure that you've allocated a time to sit down and do your visa, because it is quite a stressful process, so I'd just recommend that you actually set aside a couple of hours so you're relaxed and you haven't got too much else to do, and you can just concentrate on getting the important info done, because you just need to ensure that for this program that you're applying for a J1 student exchange visa. So you just have to follow all of the prompts and instructions. So yeah, so just fill that out, and if you have the info that I told you to print off at the beginning of this video, that'll make it easy as well. So just fill those out as obviously as best you can and as truthfully as you can. And once you've completed that, you pay another fee for your application. So there are a lot of fees in this process, so make sure that you have some money readily available on a card to pay all of this when you sit down as well. So you'll pay another fee, and then you can book your appointment. So that's as far as I've got up to so far. So I've booked my appointment. It's in like 2 weeks or 2 and a bit weeks. So I'm waiting for that, and I'll let you know how that goes. But I'm from Ipswich, so I have to fly to Sydney to go to the embassy down there, because there is no American embassy in Brisbane. So I'm going to fly to Sydney. But if you keep your eyes out, if you are from a place that doesn't have an embassy, usually flights are pretty cheap. So, and that's part of your expenses as well. Disney won't pay for your flights down to your embassy. You have to do that yourself. But like I said, if you just keep an eye out, you'll get really cheap flights. So that is quite vague of the application side of the process, but I can't really talk that much about it, because I guess everyone's different, and obviously the answer that they're going to put down. But if you do have any problems with the visa application, let me know and I can answer them the best that I can. And now I'm going to go on to my interview process. So today is Friday the 13th of June, and 2 days ago on the 11th of June I flew to Sydney for my visa interview. So I'm quickly going to tell you all how it went. I woke up at 3:30 in the morning to jump on a plane around 7 to fly to Sydney, and I flew to Sydney and home from Sydney all in the one day, because it's just easier and it saves time, because I didn't have to be there for very long. So I did that, and my appointment slot time was 10:30. You're allowed to get there 15 minutes prior to that slot that you're given, but no longer, so don't show up over 15 minutes early. Yeah. So I got there at 10:15 and I was there till 11:15, so the process as a whole took me 1 hour. And so I got there at 10:15 and lined up in my first line. The entire process is mainly you just standing in a lot of lines. I stood in about 4 or 5 lines. It's kind of like waiting for rides when you think about it. But yeah, you go to different people and different desks just for different things before your interview. So they check your paperwork, they check that your photo is recent enough because it needs to be taken within like 6 months, it can't be over 6 months old, and taking fingerprints and doing that sort of housekeeping stuff that they have to do before they let you have an interview. So you go through a few lines first, and then when you finally get to the window that you go to for your interview, you're only there, well, I was only there for about 4 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes. I wasn't there for very long at all. He asked me 2 questions. He asked me about my enrollment status at uni, and if I was studying a bachelor degree, which I am, and he also asked me a question about my criminal background, which is non-existent, so that was another easy question. And then he pretty much told me straight away that my visa had been approved and to have fun at Disney, and I was like, thank you very much, I'm out. So it's the interview itself is really easy. I wasn't asked any Disney specific questions, but I know people that were asked Disney specific questions, like, why are you working at Disney? Like, why did you choose Disney as a company to work at? Why did you choose Orlando and not another Disney park, and that sort of stuff. So they might ask you about the program itself, but I didn't get asked that. Also, when you do your application, you get told to bring some extra forms just in case they ask for them. So I took extra forms proving my enrollment in uni, proving that I had enough money to get overseas, and proving my travel plans, and that I was planning to come home and not stay there forever. So I took all of those. They didn't ask for them though, but they might. So make sure that if there are any additional documents that they say that you should bring, definitely take them along with you. So again, that's really vague of the process, but maybe that gives you an idea of maybe what to expect when you do go for your visa interviews. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask me in the comments if I haven't answered it in the video, and I would be more than happy to answer them. And I'd really like to do a Q&A video before I go to America. So if anyone has any questions at all about pre-arrival information, let me know, and if I get enough I might make a video for you all trying to answer them from my point of view and my experience so far. So I have 51 days left till I get on a plane. Sorry I totally changed my countdown on you all, but it's so much easier to count down in double digits now that I'm under 100 days. So I've only got 51 days, which is like just over a month and a half left. So I'm getting really excited. I'll keep you updated with all of my other pre-arrival info, as I always do. So until I see you all next time, have a magical day.